Finally, we found the last person we need after all. I'm Helig Cross. I'm leading an expedition to the land south of Dalantarth, the Teeth of Naros, and we could use another strong back. Few facts. The only record of a successful journey there was by an Almain missionary named Denric, returned half dead and maddened to hell. He claimed the southern land as home to a miraculous city, wrought of gold and trimmed with silver. Even said it floated above the earth, if you can believe it. It's hard country, damn impossible to find a pass in the mountains, but if I'm right, this cavern will take us under them. Then we only need to begin. I've seen to all the logistics, and all the preparations for the journey. Meet us in the southern passage. Let's try to cover as much ground as we can. It's the cave next to camp. I heard rumors that it was filled with artifacts that none had ever seen before. Strange carvings and huge works of stone. I don't know how dangerous it is, but I advise against being too carefree inside. We should go in as a group. Stay close.
The time of deliverance is almost nigh. The teeth of Naros have gone untamed since the rocks were young, since the wind was but a child. And now, my chosen people stand on the precipice of taming this land, or succumbing to it. I thought once that none could change the stars of this world. But at last, one has come who can. Come, thou Fateless One, I beckon thee.
What the hell is that thing?
What is it? It looks like it's made of stone, but this stain, this is blood. This thing is flesh. I'm not going to stick around and find out what killed this thing. This whole damn place is cursed. Leave me.
Damn craven. Don't know what Cash was getting so worked up for. Just a statue somebody toppled over and got all bloody. Let the mage run to his mother. We don't need him. We don't even know if it was a corpse. Could have been a statue that an Etin decorated with some entrails, or something. I can't believe that craven mage. Wait a moment. I don't like the look of this hallway up ahead. This is Sferry's area of expertise. Let her take the lead here. What was that? First the mage turns coward, then Sferry dies doing the one thing she's supposed to be suited for. Is this some sort of joke? What's next? Are you going to reveal you're really just a kobold with a bad case of mange? Clearly, I should be more thorough when recruiting my expeditions. Fine, let's just keep moving. We'll manage on our own from here. We keep going. Cash proved to be useless, and Sverry's not helping anyone anymore. Looks like it was always up to us. With just two of us, we'll have to try and manage as best we can. It won't be easy, but I thought something like this could happen. Come, we must make Sverry's death innocent. What in the hell were those things? I've never seen anything like them. I heard of the dangers of the southern land, but are the gods themselves conspiring against us? Scary. Hold on a moment. One of those damn beasts hit me worse than I thought. I think I need to rest for a while. Here, I'm going to wait here. Scout the passage ahead, and see if you can find a place to make camp. Will you stop fussing over me? It's not doing either of us any good for you to stay here. We need to find some place to make camp. I'll take it, but I'll wait until I really need to use it. Be ashamed to waste the thing, wouldn't it? Now get going. I need to rest. Discover what you can, and come back to me. I told you, I'll be fine. I'll save the health potion you gave me for when things really get dire. Now, find a place for us to make camp. I'll be fine. Get going.
And so, after centuries, it has come to pass. The cipher has reached thy hands, Second. At last, my work can be completed. One who watched and waited for decades and centuries and eons, and all for this day, when thou wouldst come before me. I have read the fates of this world to find thee, unfated one. Much rests on your shoulders, but I have one more burden to lay upon thy brow. To continue thy path through the tapestry of fate, and perpetuate its sundering, I will open the way to the Teeth of Naros. Seek the Primos, and thy duty will be made clear in time. Go now with my blessing. Go now with my purpose. For thou art beckoned. That which was ordained must be undone.
What can I... First we have an army of Jotan at our gates, and now this. I don't know you, little one, but you'll find no quarter here. This is still Colossi-held territory for the moment. State your intent. Everything does harm in these lands. I do not know you, so why should I take you at your word? Furthermore, none have come from those caverns since they were sealed, save you. How is it you came here? Statue. Could it be? An auspicious claim, but we must put it aside for now. The Jotan rally. Steel yourself. That was well fought, little friend. You have a strength in your arms that belies their lack of girth. Perhaps you are not the interloper I believed you to be. You claim to have been summoned, but for what purpose? What strange forces brought you here? You speak of the Holy King of my people, and that artifact you bear. Could it be the cipher? Your mission is twice damned already. The Primos is a recluse. But more immediate than that is the Jotan horde. Idylla is sealed off as long as they continue plaguing my people. Yes, hiding away in his high tower and pining for gods that will never listen to him. The Primos is the highest office among the Colossi, reserved for the one that leads my people in politics and prayer. At least that is how things should be. But Anakatos, the latest to have this authority, has not lived up to his duties. Our people are stranded in a wild land, in a time of our greatest doubt, and he locks himself away from us. Our ruler leaves us leaderless. The Jotan are led by Karunk, a warlord that reigns over his horde from his ramshackle tower. One of my scouts, Remy's, watches them now. He can offer you advice on fighting the warlord, and if you can kill Karunk, I will lead you to the Primos myself. The quickest way to end their threat would be to kill their war chief, Karunk. With his death, the others will be brought to heel. Bring word to the city.
How may I serve?
They will need to know about the Jotan and this new interloper.
Ah! What a horrid little thing you are! Are you some kind of Jotan runt? Explain yourself quickly. The last thing I want is to give away my position. That much I was aware of, and I knew Sakandra would send someone. But you? A sign of the times, to be sure, but if you're to do the deed, then I have information that you will need. Karunk is truly powerful, but no more so than his brethren. It is not his strength that's troubling. It's his fortitude. 2 kobolds he keeps with him work some strange magics that heal his wounds and help him resist injury. Kill them, and the fight is yours. Using primal magic would certainly help as well. Strange thing, aren't you? Primal magic is a magic imbued upon weapons and gems. Only armament can channel it. The magic does some damage on its own, but its true strength is its ability to augment other magics you cast on your foe to a devastating degree. Take this weapon, use it to inflict primal magic on a foe, and let loose your spells. Even a Jotan warlord could not withstand such an onslaught. It is an older form of magic, one that does little damage on its own, but can wreak havoc when combined with elemental spells. Using weapons infused with primal magic, you can increase your foe's magical sensitivity. Even a troll's hide will have its resistances sapped. Imagine loosing your most damaging spells with no resistances. Few would survive such an onslaught. Very well.
I had heard. From Remy's, I received word that one such as you entered Karunk's tower with no trepidation, no anxiety. Do I even have to ask? Does the war chief still draw breath? It was said the gods would call their champion, and here you are bearing the cipher, seeking the Primos. If you have learned something of primal magic, this staff may be of value to you. Take it with my thanks for your role in killing the warlord. Now my forces can put the rest of the Jotan to the spear beckoned. With their leader dead, they will likely keep to themselves and lose the will to harry my people as they have. I will wager that they won't suffer incursions into their camp, for good or ill. But still, they have caused my people suffering. Shall we wait and allow them to inevitably rise again? This is our best opportunity to finish them. We do not need to attend to this task ourselves. My soldiers will see to the work. I will now take you to the henge, the device that transports the Colossi between the city and the surface. Let us depart. An artifact my people made. With the city in the sky, we knew we needed a way to travel from the teeth and back. The energies it focuses are the same as those that keep the city aloft. They can levitate people and objects safely. Be cautious in these lands.
Blessings.
You did it! Here, Beckoned. This artifact you see before us is a henge. We use it to transport to the city. It may be uncomfortable at first. I still recall retching after my first journey with it. But it is the only way into the city. Very well. What can I do? And here you have it. Idylla, our great failing. Now let us go to Anakatos. He may hide from our people's needs, but he will not refuse a visitor sent from Athene. The gods choose the Primos to lead we Colossi, and to enact their will. Of the gods, we are the favored of Athene, the goddess of wisdom. Or we were. Athene's once common words have been quiet for some time. The Primos has prayed in isolation for years, but she does not answer. Very well. You return. Well, the Primos has not graced the ears of his subjects in ages. What has he said to you? The circlet of Arcase. And Anakatos expects me to lead you to it? Has his reclusion left him senseless? Has he forgotten his history as well as his people? Very well. As I cannot refuse the Primos, I will meet you in the crypts in the undersewers of the city. Let us deal with this as quickly as possible. We can find it in the crypts beneath the city's sewers. They are old structures, forgotten as the city was built above them. There. That is the artifact you seek. The circlet of Arcase. By taking it, Arcase's grave becomes an empty tomb. Let us depart. Anakatos has had his fun with me, and there is nothing left to plunder. It is nothing I can share with you, Beckoned. It is not worth your time. I always thought that were I to come to Arcase's crypt, it would be because of the work of gods alone. And here I am, by the will of none but Anakatos, flesh and blood. I cannot! I will not! Even after all these years, he has not forgotten his brand of viciousness. He knows I must obey his command. I apologize for my outbursts. However, it can be hard to let convictions go. But we must. We must. Take the circlet back to Anakatos. He is most likely waiting for you. Very well. No one comes down here anymore. It is left to ruin, For the Colossi have no more need of these halls, or those interred within them. How many years did our masons toil to assemble this place? And look at it now. How easily we discard the labors of our past.
You bear the circlet of Arcades. Then the wreath is almost complete. The foundation is gold with runes of prayer, as I said. Now, it must be woven with blood and toil. The Colossi furnish the foundation and nature furnishes the trappings. The laurels of the wreath are not crafted, but earned. We seek Teryx veins. Once they are ours, once the wreath is complete, the ritual of atonement can begin. I take it you have encountered a Teryx before. Likely the mongrel, carrion-eating scavengers that plague us. They are a common foe. We seek the veins of the Alpha Teryx. They are fierce and proud, all that is wild and savage in nature. To prove to the gods the righteousness of our faith, then we must conquer a mighty foe. They will serve. The gods sent you to bear witness to our atonement. To do that, we must complete the wreath of absolution. The wreath is made from the large feathers, the veins of the Teryx Alphas. They live in Eyries to the south. We must act. We are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the Alphas of each Eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Teryx Eyries lie in the wilds of the Teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Teryx here, we seek only the plumage of their strongest and brightest. These are the true challenge. Very well, Beckett. Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained, until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the Teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotan and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Feel my wrath! Come. The circlet must be built. We wandered the Teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness,
The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. Since you seem to favor the arts of magic, take these. I used them once. May they guide your meditations. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come, we must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why were you brought to me? To ridicule our suffering? To spite our lamentations? To answer them with scourge and salt? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. We must act. You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. The antechamber is the flawed design of Arches. It was the means by which he sought to force the Hyperion to join the city. It was to do so using the spark of divine magic Athene placed into each of us, that these fragments combined would create a force equal to that of a god. Such power was never meant to be wielded by the unworthy. The energies struck back at Arches, and the many assembled in his chamber, killing them. We are so close now.
I am glad to see you survived the Teryx Eries beckoned, and now I see that Anakatos is intent on fulfilling his whim. I would be careful. The temple is old. My soldiers are still dealing with the Jotan, but with Karunk dead, I can resume my other duties of keeping peace in these lands. Unfortunately, that includes this. Anakatos personally requested my guards, and I escort his followers here. I dislike this place. This cavern is nothing more than a tomb, a monument to Arches and those that died following him to ruin. We learned definitively that all the trials we surmounted, all the strife we weathered in pursuit of Athene's love, had been in vain. But the most important lesson was learned by few. We cannot depend on the heavens to support us. We should make our own way in this world. Arches and Anakatos have already shown me the delusions of faith. I only hope this farce is done with quickly. Very well.
Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. Long before, Arceus dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arceus stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will. Thank the gods! Praise be to them! After all this time, I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me, and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arceus could not. Command the Hyperion. This chamber harnesses the magic needed to control the Hyperion. But before you appeared with the cipher, no force was sufficient. I knew that when we first met, when I first sensed the cipher, that I could unseal the Hyperion and command its power. Why else would the gods furnish you, whom I needed most in my lowest hour? The gods have found my people unworthy of the gifts offered us. So, using the Hyperion, I will see Idylla destroyed. The wicked will be purged. And once the city falls, I will reforge the ruins in an image the gods find acceptable. I'm sorry, Beckoned, but you must be a martyr for my cause.
Beckoned. What has happened? Why are Anakatos's acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idylla? No! That zealous fool! Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Beckoned and the cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Anakatos from here. Take this talisman. The silent choir acolyte who bore it won't need it anymore. Now let's move. How if we cannot reach him? And we can do nothing to stop him if his worshippers kill us here. We must make for the surface, and hope that there is time enough for us to deal with him. Very well.
Beckoned. Not time. Seek. Primus. Below.
Hold a moment. These are bodies of Colossi. What are they doing here? Wait. I recognize some faces. Belfron. Armandia. These were great Colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos, at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anakatos wrought? Farewell.
Trespassers, you are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotan slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
I found these during the fight. I do not know what they once bound, but they might be of use to you. Now, we must decipher what that cultist said. But there are also the slaves. They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. The council must be important. Something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher in the Hyperion. I do not believe so. The council is dying if Anakatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anakatos' council before it dies? Very well.
You. I am past the point of much, but I can feel the warmth of Athene in you, strange one. Has my time come at last? I cannot see. I cannot see. I know the beckon comes, but I cannot even look upon you. I sought justice for him once, but I have seen the scope of my people's fate. Athene has been with me day by day, so that I had the strength to tell you. The atrocities of one are nothing. The goddess told me I was to wait for you. The riddle must be solved. The Hyperion must be roused. But my time is gone. Sikandra, she knows. Ask her about our last day. Sikandra.
Arcades. I had always... He had died. He had died years ago when the gods rebuked him and our people. It was truth. Anakatos had him alive and tortured. I thought... I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet. Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke? Before the Hyperion tragedy? He asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seem bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now? I once thought that faith was what would ruin my people, the thing that would distract them from their happiness. But I see now, it is apathy. To not care for our people, that is Anakatos' sin. As I thought it was our cases before him. But this is so much larger. Larger than I ever thought. And our case. He always knew that I would be here. He must have always known. The task is clear. We need to... Ah! My head. Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic. Anakatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might We might be too late. Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anakatos may have accomplished his goal. Farewell. The city seems intact, but still, the henge has already become disrupted. Anakatos has sealed us from the city. It is only a matter of time before he finds a way to destroy Idylla. We must find what Arches spoke of, and quickly. Arches requested specifically that we go to the shrines of earth and air on the last day we spent together. There are 2 sites in the wilderness, touched by the gods, one in the peaks of the Teeth, and the other in its canyon. These were called the shrines of earth and air. I thought nothing of them, but Arches knew. He must have known this day would come, when we needed them. I cannot say for sure, but there is more than coincidence here. That Arches showed these places to me, that he mentioned them as he died. But we have little else to act on, and with every moment the chance of Anakatos' calamity occurring grows greater. It rests in the Teeth of Naros, but south of the Hyperion and the city. It is nestled between the great crags of rock that make these mountains. Farewell. These... I doubt that anyone has walked these halls since they were first shaped. I wonder if the words Arches spoke were true. I do not know for sure. When Arches came here with me years before, he said this of the Earth Shrine. The earth is dark and heavy, and dangers hide unseen. Accept the light in darkness, for it knows the way. A light in this gloom is welcome, but I would not wander too far off the path. Be cautious in these lands. Something feels strange beckoned. When you harnessed the Earth Shrine, my limbs never held more strength. You look more whole, and I can feel the magic pouring through this land already. We must be close. The Hyperion waits. Be cautious in these lands. The path opens once more. To think that all this time we had the answer to the Hyperion below our feet. That our road to Anakatos forced us to solve this riddle seems more than coincidence. I cannot say for sure. It is different from the Earth Shrine. This place is thin and cold. But I remember the words Arches said. To harness the air, you must walk on the wind. Somehow this shrine will make that true. Very well. The cipher is whole again. As are you. We can unseal the Hyperion that we might stop Anakatos. And we've done so much more. I thought this all was to bring Anakatos to his judgment, but I was wrong. There is much more at stake here. Communing with the Hyperion beneath the city. We have to stop him while we still can. How long have we left Anakatos to his task? And Idylla still rests. What is he doing? Very well.
So, you have finally come. For the good of my people. It is time we beckoned Mad and fulfilled our roles. You are not so ignorant as that. You are the avatar of Athene herself. I thought you had been sent to purge my people of their limitations, and I was right. But their chief limitation is not sin. It is fate. It is the fate of my people that must be changed, not their piety. That is what stands between us and grace. Our ordained savagery. Yes, the goddess had made much known to me, and most important of all, that I can die so my people may consecrate themselves. As the gods will. You have my thanks, Beckon. It is a great thing we are about to do. This will be swift. You will die, Beckon.
You've done it. Anakatos has been killed. But that energy that came from you, it raised the Hyperion. Without its magic to support the structure, this whole temple is coming down. We need to get out of here. Be cautious in these lands.
It is done at last. The fate of Anakatos, the surrogate of all the Colossi savagery, has been shifted. And as his fate was shifted, so was the fate of all the Colossi. Gone is the taint of savagery and barbarism.
We made it. And you've seen what has happened. The Hyperion soars within our city. We can never thank you fully for your magic. One who wields the elements of Amalur with your ability needs robes to beget their skill. I hope these will serve. You have given us so much. I see the compassion and the influence the gods have had in my people's lives. My life. All along. What Arche said to me on our last day together, what Athene said as we escaped the Hyperion temple just now, these are no accidents. Your arrival, our meeting, Anakatos' betrayal and finding Arche's, these events were crafted intent. I see that now. And as you were beckoned to save my people, now I am beckoned to lead them. But I don't know if I can. I've no doubt, for you have already shown us the path beckoned, and you will always have my thanks for that. Now, let us return to Idylla. Let us see the fruits of your labor. Farewell.